So I won an auction on eBay for 5 Xbox controllers, and they were advertised as untested and potentially faulty. This is one of the controllers, and I ended up paying about $5, maybe even a little bit less for this thing. So we're going to get it plugged in, and we're going to take a look and see how bad it is. Now, the controller was actually in pretty good condition, apart from one of the joysticks. As you can see, looks like someone's got a little bit hungry and taken a few chunks out of it. So I have swapped the thumbstick cap for a black one that I had lying around, which is not perfect, but in better condition. And the rest of the controller actually looks pretty clean. No noticeable damage, cracks, or missing pieces. Still even has the original sticker. Doesn't look like it's been opened up, but we'll get it connected, and it's vibrated. And now it's showing up in the gamepad tester. And now we're going to test each function. So left trigger, right trigger, fine. Left bumper, fine. Right bumper, fine. A, B, X, Y. Start, select, up, left, down, right. Now, get into the joysticks. As you can see, I've not touched these things yet. That right-hand joystick has got some crazy stick drift. And it's actually insane. And testing the circularity, obviously, this thing has some serious issues, and it's just drifting all the way up, making this controller incredibly difficult to play with. Now, the left-hand joystick doesn't necessarily drift like the right one does, but if we go ahead and do a full circle, I'm doing a full circle with that thing. As you can see, it's just acting completely abnormally. So the left joystick is, again, also unplayable. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ship this controller off to a technician I know, and I'm going to have him fit this controller with some TMR joysticks, which will make these joysticks perform like brand new again, and they'll never, ever get stick drift ever again. Once he's done that, we should have a perfectly working controller, and the total cost should be very, very low, but I'll leave that for the end of the video. So let's get this thing packaged up, sent off, and let's see how it turns out.
One eternity later.
Alright, so the controller is back. It's right here, and she's all back together, fixed. We've got the TMR joysticks installed. These are the Jinful TMR sticks, and these are highly rated. So now this controller should have no stick drift, and these joysticks will even be upgraded compared to your standard Alps joysticks, what they normally come with. So let's get it plugged in and test it out. So we're on gamepad tester here. We're going to get this thing plugged in, and it's alive. And when we start moving things around and pressing buttons, this thing comes to life. As you can see, these joysticks are perfectly centered. There is absolutely no drift on these things whatsoever, and they are buttery smooth as well. We'll go ahead and test the circularity for these things as well. So we'll just spin these around, and we've got a very, very low error rate here. Anything under 10% is really, really good. Anything higher than 10% is not as good. But if you're anywhere near 20%, that's pretty bad for any joysticks. So these ones are actually looking really, really smooth as well. So I can't wait to really test these out. What I'm also going to do here is I'm just going to do a stick analyzer test just to take a look at these things, as this can give us a really good idea of how well these are going to perform in game before we actually get there. So I'm going to test the right stick, as that's the most important to me. So we're going to hit 2, and then we start this curve test. So we just spin this around 3 times, return it to the center, and then we're going to slide this thing over to the left, nice and gently. And there we go. Linearity is about 90%, which is not the best that I've seen. It's certainly better than a lot of Hall Effect joysticks that I've seen out there. We've got a stick resolution of 408 as well, which is actually pretty good. It's definitely an upgrade to the standard joysticks that normally come in your Xbox controllers. Although this graph is not perfect, definitely seen better results from other joysticks and other TMR sticks. That is definitely acceptable. I think these things are going to perform really, really well. My good friend has also installed some brand new joystick caps on for me as well, because the old ones were pretty beaten up. Now, there is another thing that I've done to this controller since getting it back from the guy that fitted the TMR sticks for me. I've also installed a new back cover to this thing, and it matches the original aesthetic of the controller, which is white, and it's got 4 remappable buttons on the back here as well. So we've got TMR sticks, 4 remappable buttons on the back of the controller. These can be remapped to any input of the controller. So ABXY, D-pad, joysticks, triggers, bumpers, anything you wish, while still maintaining all the original Xbox functionality. And additionally, just to make the controller a little bit more lightweight, I've removed the rumble motors from here because I don't necessarily use vibrations or any rumble features whatsoever. So just to save a little bit of weight, this controller feels really nice now without those rumble motors in there. We're going to be spending a week or two playing with this controller on my live streams. So come on over and hang out and we can talk about how I'm doing with that one. You'll be able to see my gameplay live with this thing. We're also building some other modified controllers as well, such as DualSense, DualShock 4. Make sure you hit subscribe down below, turn on notifications so you don't miss when we go live. I even transferred the original sticker from the other backplate. So we've got the original Microsoft sticker there. So this thing looks and feels super OEM. Microsoft are definitely dragging their feet, not giving us an Elite Series 3 just yet. But if they did, or when the day comes that they do, I should hope that's in the works, this is actually going to be probably as close to it as you're going to get. So they're most likely going to be going with the rear buttons rather than the paddles. There's been a lot of complaints and issues, reliability issues with the paddles on the back of the controllers of the Elite Series 2. So they're probably going to opt for the buttons. And we are definitely going to be expecting some kind of Hall effect or TMR options to combat that stick drift that we've constantly been facing on all Xbox controllers. Hopefully we get something decent in those, but these are pretty much the best of the best that you can get, certainly right now anyway. Now I guess all we've really got to do is fit some interchangeable thumbstick caps here so we can have the extra heights, and then we've pretty much got the next generation of the Elite Series controller in our hands here. And if you already own your original Xbox controller that came with your console, you can do all these modifications. And the total cost for this build right here, with the TMR sticks and the remappable buttons on the back, this entire controller cost me just approximately $60 completely for everything. And it looks great, works perfect. These rear buttons on the back are super responsive. It's super easy to remap these buttons on the fly as well. So this is the Extreme Rate Hope, and it comes with everything you need. It's about $30. But it does take someone who knows what they're doing with a soldering iron, and it takes a lot of patience. This modification took me about 1 hour, as I had to go back and resolder some of the connections a couple of times as I didn't quite get them. But yeah, super worth it, and I would 100% go back and do it all again. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like for me. But that's all the yapping from me today. We'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.